Hello and welcome back to my channel. I apologize for the shitty lighting, but here we go. So, I was going to film a different video today, which was just going to be a reaction video, and that video will still get filmed. However, I thought this was more important to discuss. Before I get into the video itself, I do want to say that I'll be talking about some very heavy subject matter, including eating disorders, depression, suicide, anxiety, etc. If that stuff upsets you, please don't watch the video, because the last thing I want to do is to upset anyone. However, I do think this is an important issue to talk about because it's something that no one talks about, and is so utterly disgusting that this is something that happens. It's completely wrong. I don't understand why this is something that is still happening and why so many people seem to just not be so many people just seem to be okay with it. They just seem to chill and let things happen as they happen. That is disgusting in my opinion. So today I'm going to be talking about people who exploit people's suffering online for views or their own benefit. Basically, people who see a situation and think, hey, I can get success out of that, or I can get clout out of this. And people who just comment downright insensitive or rude things to get attention from random people and are actively trying to upset people. One of the first examples that comes to mind is with eating disorders. I bring this up because there's the situation of Eugenia Cooney. Now, yes, I'm talking about Onision here. Onision, when he decided to make all those videos, using Eugenia Cooney as clickbait and talking about how unhealthy she was. First of all, Onision, you are not a doctor. It's not your fucking business. I know this was an issue that happened a long time ago, but it is something worth bringing up. Using someone's disorder or body as clickbait is completely wrong in my opinion. I'm not really sure why people go out there and think they can use someone's eating disorder as a clickbait, or put something in the title of, oh my gosh, so-and-so has an eating disorder, or evidence of so-and-so's eating disorder, and then use that a thumbnail. It's one thing to talk about an issue in a serious and appropriate way. For instance, saying, hey, I'm concerned for this person because they have an eating disorder. It's concerning how their fans are following in their footsteps. Yeah, that's fine. But using a clickbaity title and, thumbnail just to use someone's eating disorder for clicks is disgusting. And this has happened so many times with Eugenia Cooney. This is just a general health thing. I mean, with people in general, it can happen on the opposite end of the spectrum too. If you have people who are overweight, just using people for clicks is wrong. And of course there's, those people who support eating disorders and want to empower each other to continue their eating disorders, but that's a topic for a different video, and I already talked about that a bit in a different video. I bring this up because people using eating disorders for clicks or attention is disgusting. One other thing I happen to see is people body shaming people who already have eating disorders or already have had struggles with food. I'm not understanding why this happens. Now, a lot of these situations that I'm going to be referring to do relate to celebrities. I'm not saying that celebrities are the only people who matter, and I'm not saying these situations don't happen outside of the celebrity world within the regular scope of the internet, because they do. However, celebrities are popular examples that a lot of people have heard of and can understand, and are things that are more universal that for more people to know or be aware of. And celebrities also have larger fan bases that could be affected by this specific thing that is happening. And I do want to make it very important that just because someone is a celebrity doesn't mean they're not a person. It doesn't mean they don't have thoughts and feelings. That's extremely important going forward. I bring this up because one of the things that I remember is when all the Swifties went and body shamed Demi Lovato. If you guys don't know, Demi Lovato has publicly stated before that she has bulimia, which is an eating disorder. And it's not good. You should not have an eating disorder. Eating disorders are unhealthy and bad. Now, obviously, this is something that Demi suffered with and is not healthy and wanted to stop having. This is something that, she felt terrible about. Feeling like you're too big or feeling insecure about your body. That is absolutely a terrible feeling, and obviously it's not her fault that she has an eating disorder. It's not anyone's fault for their own disorder. However, some Taylor Swift fans went on Twitter and started fat-shaming Demi Lovato again when she defended Scooter Braun. Now, I'm not saying Demi was right for defending Scooter Braun, and I'm not saying it's any of my business. However, there's one thing to call her out and say, hey, you shouldn't defend Scooter Braun, and it's a completely different situation to say, Demi is a whale. Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with people? You literally know she has an eating disorder. Are you trying to hurt her? Are you trying to get her to harm herself? That seems to be the legitimate situation that you're going on here. People who hate Demi so much that they want to do that. Now, as much as I don't know Taylor Swift's personal views on Demi or her relationship with Demi, I don't think that Taylor Swift would want all of her fans to be going after Demi and fat-shaming her, especially when Taylor Swift herself has stated she struggled with eating in the past. It's really something that's not okay. Same thing goes with people like Selena Gomez. People shaming Selena Gomez for her past struggles and things that she's had issues with. People going out of the way to shame Selena Gomez for no reason, just because you don't like her. It's okay if you don't like someone, it's okay to call them out on their bad behavior. However, going out of your way to shame someone for something they can't control is disgusting. It's one thing if someone is going out trying to promote their eating disorder. However, Demi never did that. Demi has talked about it in a way to be vulnerable and show her own struggles. She wasn't doing it in a way to condone the behavior of an eating disorder. Another example is with Jimin. I bring this up again. I know I've talked about this multiple times, and it's not confirmed that Jimin has an eating disorder. However, there is a lot of signs there in his eating habits and the way he's talked and appeared on camera and weight fluctuations over the years. Again, I'm not shaming, and also it's none of my business, but it is something that's worth bringing up because there's definitely people online who like to post shit for attention. There's also people who just hate on BTS because they're a popular group, which is stupid. You should not hate on someone because they're popular. That's probably one of the dumbest arguments I've ever heard for hating on someone. Just because they're successful and you're not is not a reason to hate on them. Seriously. I've seen lots of insults and shit thrown at groups like BTS. However, Jimin is the one I've seen fat shamed the most, which to me is especially disturbing since he's the one who has seemed to have struggled the most with eating in the past. Again, I can't confirm that he has an eating disorder as I'm not a doctor. However, he did say that he did not eat a full meal for 10 days and has also had multiple weight fluctuations and looked uncomfortable or different when food was brought up in certain situations. This is something that isn't funny to joke about, and calling someone fat is wrong. In any situation, even if someone is perfectly healthy, going out of your way to call them fat or to fat shame them is gross. Even if someone is overweight, it's not your goddamn business. Seriously. And Jimin was never overweight or fat. He's not naturally as skinny as he is now. He definitely went on diets that changed his body because sometimes when you go on diets, you're unable to gain that weight back. And that definitely happened with Jimin. However, he was never fat to begin with. But people go out of their way to fat shame. And the fact that people continue to fat shame even when he has lost a ton of weight in an unhealthy manner is not okay. And the fact that people think it's okay to fat shame is disgusting, because if this behavior continues and he ends up seeing it, then he'll just think, then he could just fall back into those habits. It's so disgusting to see people continue to fat shame people who are literally have eating disorders or have struggled with food in the past. It basically seems like they're trying to get attention and piss people off, and it's almost like you're trying to harm people. It's kind of the same thing as telling people to go kill themselves or go hurt themselves. Why would you do that? It's so disgusting. I don't understand what your fucking problem is. Seriously. But again, using people's eating disorders for clout or clicks is just wrong. Now, something else that I see, which is a huge fucking problem, is people using people's deaths for attention or views, or people using death as something to mock. This is something that is so utterly disgusting. Again, I'm going to be talking about celebrity deaths here because I think they're the most common in terms of what we see on the internet. Now, to me, this is something that is a huge fucking problem, and I've seen so many people say absolutely disgusting things when someone dies young or in a tragic way. It honestly feels like whenever someone dies nowadays, everyone goes to Twitter and floods the comments with comments saying that they should have stanned a certain artist, or, should have done something in order to not die. That's not only flawed logic, but it's just insensitive. Why would you say that? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. It doesn't make any goddamn sense. I've seen so many replies like this on Twitter. On Twitter, when any person in any, entertainment industry dies young, and people jumping to conclusions, even when they don't know the situation. Recently, member Johan from the K-pop group Top Secret passed away at 28. Now, we don't know what he died of because his family didn't want to disclose that. However, people in the comments started jumping to conclusions and assuming shit about his death, assuming it was suicide because other K-pop idols have committed suicide, and then assuming that it was a drug problem, which is really fucking thick of them. I'm not sure why you would do that. Not only that, but I got more and more of those should have stand comments. Those comments are so fucking disgusting in my opinion. I'm not sure why people think it's okay to make these types of comments. It really isn't. And also insulting people's family and friends or fans when someone dies, and going out of their way to say things that could be extremely hurtful to their family, friends, or fans. I bring this up because there's so many instances where someone will die tragically and people will mock the victim or then mock their fans or friends. An example would be when Onision went on Twitter and started started talking about why people shouldn't pray for Christina Grimmie or her family when Christina Grimmie was murdered. Now, this is completely disgusting. Again, what the fuck is wrong with Onision? First of all, we know Onision is a creep, but it's not only Onision who does this. There's plenty of people who use things as clickbait and who try to get attention. I mention Onision here because it's a type of behavior and comment that I see that is really disgusting. Now, this is an instance where someone was literally murdered and you don't give a shit. Telling people that they shouldn't pray for her or that praying won't help is so fucking insensitive. Now, it's okay if you personally don't pray or don't believe that praying will help. That's fine. That is perfectly fine if you think that. However, going online and telling people not to pray and telling people they're dumb for praying is really rude. And now, if someone actually wants to pray or it actually comforts them, then let them have that. Seriously, what benefit do you have from going online and saying that praying for someone is dumb? It's really disgusting. The same thing happens when people say people go to hell for shit or people try to speculate shit. This makes me really angry because I see people do this a lot when someone has committed suicide and people will say, oh, that, suicidal people go to hell. If you believe that, whatever, go ahead. But it's none of your goddamn business to comment that on posts and make people who are fans or people who care upset when this happens. That's not your business. It really isn't. You might think you're trying to spread awareness or evangelize people, but you're just going to make already sensitive people more upset. This is something that I've seen multiple times and it needs to stop. Whenever someone commits suicide, the first conversation shouldn't be, oh, what if, who's responsible for this, or, they shouldn't have done that, or they're gonna go to hell. That shouldn't be the first fucking response you see when something like this happens. Again, I bring it up because it's something that I find really gross. I'm not sure why people like to comment these things. People are literally exploiting people's suffering for their own views and benefit. It's like they want to get attention. Again, with the Christina Grimmie thing, why the fuck did Onision think this was a good idea? To just go online, tweet a bunch of dumb shit about Christina Grimmie and all that. Now, even if it's someone I don't like XXXTentacion, I'm not saying that he was a good person in his life and that the things he did shouldn't be called out. However, making fun of his death in particular is fucking wrong. I don't understand why you would do that. Now, again, if someone's a drug victim, making fun of their death for overdosing is, again, insanely disrespectful. Making assumptions about them being a druggie or whatever is honestly really gross. And when it's suicide, it makes me question, why would you be disrespectful? Someone was literally in a position where they didn't see another way out, and then you go down and decide to hate on them. People who say mean things about people who are depressed in general or people who commit suicide is really disgusting. This is one of the reasons that people commit suicide in the first place, is because people say mean things. Yes, I'm aware that there are many reasons why people might commit suicide and that it's not specifically bullying. However, I can't imagine that bullying can help anyone's mental state. And when someone famous is constantly getting bullied and then goes ahead with it, it kind of makes me wonder why that happened. And if some of the hate comments aren't partially to blame. The fact that people get hate comments, it's literally factually true with Sully, as she was someone who literally received thousands or millions of hate comments and for absolutely no reason. Being a K-pop idol is definitely demanding, and she was in a position where her company basically neglected her, and it was bad. And then all the hate comments didn't help whatsoever. Again, these types of comments could not possibly help someone's mental state. And when the company involved doesn't do anything to shield them from those comments, it's wrong. But this isn't entirely the company's fault. Why the fuck would anyone make those comments in the first place? Hating on someone and sending mean comments is just wrong. It's literally factual that this type of thing can lead to people's suicide. This isn't just something that is, prevalent with celebrities. Obviously, someone can get bullied online for no fucking reason and end up doing something drastic about it. It's not okay. Again, this isn't the only reason people come to these decisions. However, it's something that needs to be addressed. And the fact that once people do die, they want to use their death as clout or try to get attention in the comments or just say things to piss off fans is really disrespectful. Again, making fun of someone like XXXTentacion's death, he was murdered. Even though you might not like him as a person, making fun of his death isn't okay. Making fun of anyone's death, anyone who died tragic or young, or anyone in general really, making fun of their death is just wrong. I don't understand why this is something that people do to get attention. It's almost like people intentionally want to get attention and they want to hurt people. Again, the types of people who tell people to go kill themselves or hurt themselves is utterly disgusting as well. Seriously, why do you want to kill people? If you're a bully, you're literally a murderer. I'm not sure why this is okay. I don't understand why people think this is acceptable and why there are so many people who are prone to doing this type of shit online. I'm really confused about this. I don't get it, and it hurts me. It's seriously something that I don't understand why you would get pleasure out of it. Are you just jealous? Are you miserable in your own life? Seriously, what the fuck is wrong with people? I genuinely don't understand. Now, while we're on the topic of something like suicide, I kind of want to bring up a situation that happened. Now, obviously, you all probably know about the Logan Paul situation. Now, I just want to talk about this because this was like 2 years ago. However, Logan Paul went into the Japanese suicide forest, which, it's a place in Japan where people go to do that. And the fact that he went there and, filmed a dead body and then posted it, disgusting. Now, I think we can all agree that this was disgusting, but what it makes me wonder is how this was allowed in the first place. Why would someone like a YouTuber be allowed to go into a quote-unquote suicide forest in order to film a dead body? Why is this place open for tourists anyway? That is so disrespectful. Now, I understand people could be there and want to be respecting of the victims. However, the amount of people who are going to go and exploit the situation for their own benefit and views is disgusting. Now, Logan Paul should not have done this. Now, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions and say that he was trying to, did this all premeditatively and that wasn't his real reaction or any shit like that. No. What I am going to say is that why the fuck would you film that, let alone post it? The only reason I can think of why you would want to film a dead body is for police records or to identify a victim. That's the only reason why you would need to film a dead body, in my opinion. I don't understand why you would feel any other need to go out there and film a dead body. It's so disgusting. Why would you do this? I'm genuinely shocked and confused as to why this was even allowed to happen. Why are tourists allowed to go into a place called a suicide forest? Why? Why are people allowed to go into a place where people have committed suicide in the first place as a tourist attraction? Why is that okay? First of all, I genuinely don't understand that. And second of all, why would you film it in the first place, let alone upload it? I don't understand. The fact that this happened is really disgusting. But I had a situation recently where my cousin on Facebook said she wanted to go to this forest. I was really shocked and surprised, not saying she wanted to go there and die. However, she was saying she wanted to go there as a tourist attraction because she's into paranormal shit. I was so shocked and offended. I basically told her that it was disrespectful, and she laughed at me, saying that it was funny and whatever about my religion. Basically blaming my religion as an excuse for why I think the way I do. Now, excuse me, first of all, I'm not even religious, and second of all, even if I was, I don't think you need a specific religion to agree that wanting to go to a place where people commit suicide is fucking wrong. And again, I'm not saying it to do something to honor someone or something specific. That's not the situation I'm talking about here. The situation I'm talking about is going to a suicide forest as a tourist attraction. Why would you do this? I'm genuinely surprised as to why anyone would want to do this. Okay, it's cool if you like paranormal shit and ghosts, but go to a fucking haunted house or something. Don't go to a suicide forest. I'm sorry, but that is so utterly disrespectful. Now, I know she probably didn't have any intentions of filming it like Logan Paul did. To be fair, she also didn't want to take sides on the Shane Dawson case, and also said all lives matter, and also made fun of me for anxiety, and is also a MLM salesperson. Yeah, my cousin is fucking crazy. However, I'm not going to bring that up here because that's none of my goddamn business. Again, why would you want to go film? Why would you want to go somewhere like that? It's so disrespectful. And why would a place like this even be open to the public? The fact that people can go in there and have vloggers go in there and post video of dead bodies. Again, the only reason you should ever be taking video of a dead body is for police records or to identify a victim. There's no reason why you should ever post a video of a dead body on the internet. It's not entertaining, and you're using someone's literal suicide as an exploitation, as a way to get likes and attention. It's not fucking funny or okay. It utterly disgusts me that people do this. I'm genuinely shocked, and I don't understand why people think this is okay. Again, going back to the thing, using someone's eating disorder as clickbait. Basically saying, someone is suffering, let me post a video about it. Someone committed suicide, let me post a video about it. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying you can't post videos about these things. Obviously, if you want to post a video that's respectful and you want to spread awareness about a situation, that's one thing. It's okay if you want to post a video that handles the situation well and explain why people should be respectful and say something respectful, or talk about why this is a serious problem that needs to be changed. However, going in there and using clickbaity thumbnails in ways to get people into you know, to click on your video is absolutely disgusting. Why do people use mental illness as a way to get attention? I've seen so many people online who will post about having mental illness when either they don't really have it or don't know what they have, and they're just doing it to get attention. Again, why would you do this? It's utterly disgusting. Or people trying to use mental illness to get sympathy points. Then there's people on the other side who just like to shame people for having mental illnesses for no fucking reason, only to get attention or clout. As I mentioned, bullies. I'm not really sure why these people do this. They're not gaining anything from it. Seriously, how terrible do you have to feel about yourself in order to go shame someone's mental illness? But again, using tragic situation as clickbait, using a video about someone's murder or suicide, or talking about someone who died in a clickbaity way is just wrong. People using videos that's footage of, oh my gosh, I have footage of this, or this happened, or, you know, there's footage of this, or using people being sad, using that shit for clicks is not okay. People saying, oh my gosh, look at this sad video, and using things as clicks is not okay. I don't understand why people think it's okay to post this shit in the first place. Like, just stop. Why would you want to use someone's tragedy to get clicks on your video? Why would you want to basically take video of a crime or a tragedy and then post it to YouTube? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take video of things happening. If there's something like a crime happening, take a video of it, yeah. But send that to the police. Don't post that on YouTube, okay? Send that thing to the authorities. Why the fuck would you post a video of something on YouTube? That's literally fucked up. That is so fucked up. Or even if it's not someone actively being murdered, why would you want to post a video that has clickbaity things in the title, like, oh my god, the last time Christina Grimmie was seen, or blah 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 blah, shit like that. I've seen videos with shit like that in the title, and people just posting these things just to get attention is so wrong, in my opinion. There's people who exploit situations that are like worldwide crises, like famine or death, and people who exploit those situations just to get Instagram followers. Seriously, there's people who go out there and say, hey, for every like, we'll donate a meal to a starving child. It's like, it's not funny. Just because a situation is trending doesn't mean you can do this for Instagram followers. I've seen that with so many things. I've seen that for every like, we'll plant a tree. Guys, fucking stop. Environmentalism is a serious thing, and you should take care of the environment, but it's not realistic to plant a tree for every fucking like that someone receives. Seriously, these types of pages are fake, and don't fall for them. Don't spread awareness of this shit. You should be spreading awareness that these people are fucking terrible and scams, and donating and sharing things for actual organizations that want to help a situation. People who exploit people suffering for views is one thing. It's one thing to use shocking images with proper trigger warnings if you're trying to show people how severe a situation is and they're not taking it seriously. However, using shocking images as a way to clickbait people is wrong. And I'm utterly so sick of people clickbaiting. People using random things as clickbait in order to talk about shocking situations also isn't okay. I understand you're trying to get people to do the thing, but it's really just wrong, in my opinion, to clickbait. For instance, I saw a post about the situation going on in Yemen. If you don't know the situation going on in Yemen, there's a terrible famine there that was happening after a war and all this other shit that's been going on in Yemen. And it's bad. However, someone clickbaited the post by saying that the coronavirus would wipe out the UK. Now, obviously, this isn't going to happen, which is why I clicked on the post, because it was fucking bizarre, and it's clickbait and scary. However, that was the clickbait slide to make people pay attention to this post about Yemen. I understand they were trying to raise awareness about the crisis in Yemen. However, going out of their way to post about coronavirus is also disrespectful. There's been plenty of people who've suffered of coronavirus or even died from it if they're old people, you know, who have, or people with immunocompromised systems. Why would you use coronavirus as clickbait? I've seen so many things using coronavirus as clickbait, and it's not okay. Again, using petty things like beauty drama as clickbait in order to get someone to pay attention to a serious issue is not the way to go, in my opinion. Just stop. And again, there are so many examples of people on Instagram using situations to exploit or try to get likes or followers. I remember this thing when the situation was going on in Syria. There was this one page that was making a fake page and trying to get likes and followers. So they said, oh, for every like, we're going to donate a meal to a kid in Sudan. That is so disrespectful, to exploit literal suffering and starvation of children to get your fucking likes on Instagram. How disgusting do you have to be? This kind of goes back to the whole conversation of just, why would you post things? Why would you use clickbait in videos? Why would you post things as clickbait? It's okay to post certain things, but you should not post them as clickbait. Now, I don't care if the video is monetized or not. Posting shit with upsetting thumbnails and shit in the title that's supposed to make you click on it is dumb. Using clickbaity titles is dumb in my opinion. I'm not a fan of clickbait to begin with, but at least if it's something petty, then I can at least say, oh, haha, that's just clickbait. However, when it's something serious, why the fuck would you clickbait it? And again, why do people want to post videos of tragedies in the first place? Now, I understand if it's something personal to you. I understand why people might upload something like a personal family funeral. Now, I think that would be an unlisted or private video. Don't know why you want to make that public, but if you do want to make it public because you're raising awareness for cause or doing something else, that's fine. But going out of your way to post things that are, insanely public, or things that are going on, posting shit of a tragedy or posting people's reactions just to get fucking likes is wrong. Honestly, I don't understand why this happens. Again, you can post your own personal shit if you want, but don't ever do that. The amount of people that still support shows like 13 Reasons Why isn't okay. 13 Reasons Why blatantly glorifies suicide, and it's not okay. I haven't watched the show, and before anyone starts yelling down my throat, I've watched plenty of videos about the show, and I know the ins and outs of it. The fact that this stuff is still being glorified in the media is not okay, and then people use this shit for likes as well. People start to think of this thing as an aesthetic, or hey, it's a character aesthetic. I can use this for likes and attention. How disgusting do you have to be? Again, the people who go out there and say and try to get likes. This is something that I'm so tired of seeing on Instagram. The types of posts which would say, repost this if you'd stay up all night with your boyfriend or girlfriend or friend to stop them from committing suicide. Or if you don't repost this, I'm watching you, or I'll unfollow you if you don't repost this. Dude, that shit is so manipulative. Seriously, of course I would stay out with my best friend to prevent them from committing suicide. However, I don't want to repost that shit because it's manipulative and it's telling other people to repost or I'll unfollow them. That is so fucking wrong in my opinion. I'm not blaming my friends for posting that shit. However, I think it's something that shouldn't even start in the first place. Why would you use a sensitive topic like suicide as a clickbait method? Why are you using something like that to clickbait people? When something's trending, repost this if you think Black Lives Matter. If you don't, repost this and I'll unfollow you. Yeah, of course I think Black Lives Matter. Why? But again, I'm not going to repost that because it's chainmail that's using a sensitive topic where people are literally being murdered and using that as an excuse. It's so fucking disgusting, and I'm so tired of this bullshit. Honestly, I just want people to stop using these things for views and clicks. Seriously, stop using terrible things for exploiting people, and stop bullying people online for no reason. It's seriously disgusting, and I sincerely wish that this type of behavior will stop. But in the meantime, more people need to be aware this type of thing, it can happen, and it's serious. And people need to be aware that there are people who just say this type of shit online, and not to fall for clickbait and scams. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.